Hey, squad leaders, this is Neil from the Scouting Report. Today I have for you Hakkaa Päälle, which loosely translates to strike them down. Let's open this up and see what separates the Finns from every other nationality in ASL. Hakkaa Päälle, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, possibly the fastest reprint in multi-man publishing history. The original came out in 2015, and a short 7 years later, we have a reprint, which is great for new players or players who missed out on the 2015 printing. A lot of multi-man publishing printings, man, some we had to wait a good 20 years for, but this one is right on the spot. Now, one thing I noticed about this is it's only what, 1.5 inch box, half the width of a normal core module. And I asked a question on Game Squad to Scott Blanton from MMP of whether it was going to be a half width box like the original or a full width box, because I'm a little bit weird about my shelves. I like things to be matchy, and all the other core modules are the 3 inch or however big the core modules are. And the response was, which I found interesting, is this is not a core module. At least that's the way I read it, which I thought was weird because it adds. I mean, the Finns weren't one of the major combatants in World War II, but they were a significant combatant. And this module contains the entire major order of battle of the Finns from World War II. So I consider it a core module. The Finns are very interesting to play, and I'll get into the reasons of why that exists. But first, let's just look at the front. Everything is unchanged. I don't think from the 2015 printing, I think the only thing they did was include some errata, but there's no additions, there's no bonus mini campaign game or anything. It's just a straight reprint with some errata. And here's the back, pretty much the same. Copyright says 2014 on it still. They must have used the same artwork from the original. It's pretty much unchanged, but it is available again. So need to find something to open this thing up with. And I'm not going to cut the video and reorganize this because it's not very big. I'm just going to open it up and we'll go through it. Okay. Get the box out of the way. Here's our packing list. Let me set that to the side. Here's our packing list. We have a box and lid, obviously, one map, map 52, 4 counter sheets, chapter H edition to your 3-ring binder if you still rock binder. I still have mine, but I never use it. I haven't used it. I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I actually used it. It's just too cumbersome, which I've mentioned many, many times. Get the Pocket H rulebook and or the electronic version of the ASL rulebook. It's the way to go. Replacement ASL rulebook pages for various chapters, 11 scenarios, or 11 scenario cards, and it includes 17 scenarios, 5 chapter dividers, and quick reference data card, chapter B, D, E, national capability chart, OBA flow chart. That's it. Let's just go through in order. First thing up is, looks like chapter H, Finnish vehicle notes. Not going to go through these, but the classic chapter H vehicle and ordnance notes for the Finns. This will be the version that is in the electronic rulebook and the pocket rulebook. This is just for you to add it to the 3-ring binder. Oh, and the credits here at the very back. We have looks like chapter E. Yeah, looks like chapter E divider. Okay. Let me set that counters aside. And then here are, is our the additions to the various chapters. You have Chapter A edition, which is probably a national capability update. Yep. Chapter B, terrain. Chapter D, vehicles. I'm not sure what. Oh, they probably added arrow sands to this. Yeah, arrow sands. Sandsley, arrow sand. And then Chapter E, maybe they added snow skis maybe to Chapter E at that time. That's it. But one thing I want to focus on is the national capability of the Finns, which is what separates them from um, other nationalities. They're pretty unique. They're one of the more unique nationalities in ASL. The other being the Japanese. The Japanese, you play the Japanese, and it feels like a completely different game. You have to change the way you approach the tactics, whether you're the attacker or the defender. Definitely when you're the attacker playing the Japanese. But here's the Finn section. You can read through it at your leisure, but I'm just going to go through a bullet point summary of how the Finns are different from other nationalities. So the Finns were pretty fierce fighters with legendary battlefield autonomy during World War II. So some of the things that they have is they can self-rally during any rally phase without a leader. All Finnish units can do that. They're immune to cowering. Elite and first line are stealthy. All Finnish units are ski capable. And because of the leadership structure they have, which you can see here, they don't have their leadership modifiers are 0 or +1, 0, and 1. That's it. There's no -2 or -3 leaders. So because of that, their leader loss task checks and morale checks are a lot less severe if that should happen. There's no field promotions for Finnish squads. No leader creation, in other words. They can self-deploy with a one task check. They don't need a leader. They can self-recombine without a leader. They can use Russian machine guns without capture penalties. Elite and First Line have Panzerfaust capabilities starting in July 1944. And almost all the squads except conscripts have assault fire. Every squad except conscripts of the Finn Order of Battle has assault fire, which is pretty unheard of in all the nationalities. So they carried a lot of submachine guns in their squads. And also, nearly every squad has spraying fire, which also reflects this. They had inherent machine gun capability, probably in the form of submachine guns. So that's a lot of things that add up to a very unique nationality on the battlefield. Very fun to play. Not a lot of reliability on leadership, as you can tell from a lot of those capabilities that I just read off in my bullet list off to the side there. Not a lot of reliance on leaders. So if you play a scenario and you end up losing a leader, it's not that big of a deal. The Finns will carry on. They will self-rally. They can deploy or recombine or what have you at a drop of a hat and get back right in the battle. Okay, so that's your chapter A, D, E updates, and B. Chapter D divider looks like updated nationality capability chart. There's the Finns right there, and you can see here, looking down, all the different quality of squads. All but the conscripts have assault fire, and all but second line and conscripts have spraying fire. Updated, or another quick reference data card. I did not know these were included in the original Hakkaa Päälle that I purchased back in when I say 2015. Yeah, I didn't know that was those were even included in there. Updated Russian vehicle notes. Maybe there's some. I'm not sure why the Russians were updated. Maybe errata, or there are some Finn-specific Russian equipment in here because Finns are able to use some Russian equipment without penalty, as I noted before. This chapter B, yeah, terrain chart. It must add something related to Hakkaa Päälle, maybe winter. I'm not sure what it adds, why this was updated again. Chapter B, terrain, and then let's go through the counters. Counter sheet 1. They are gray. I think they're a little bit lighter than the Italians, if I remember correct. I think Italians are a little darker than the Finns. So if we flip this over, every one of these should have a boxed morale, meaning they can self-rally. And what are these? They are conscripts. Interesting. Conscripts do not have a boxed. I'd have to look back through the nationality distinction. I don't recall seeing anything about conscripts not being able to self-rally, but everything but them. Yeah, everything but conscripts can self-rally. Focusing, yeah. So double check your nationality notes on conscripts. That did not stand out to me. I'll have to check that out again afterwards. Sheet 2. Looks like they added some Hungarian vehicle crew counters in here. Again, I don't remember when I opened the original in 2015. I don't remember these. Here's a lot of ski information. Akio, some Russian. Prepare fire zones. And here are the Finnish vehicles and ordnance. A lot of these have, if you can see here, at the end of their description, they have a bracket, parenthesis. A lot of them have R, which means they were either purchased from Russia or obtained from Russia somehow, either purchased. I don't know if Russia had a Lend-Lease before the Winter War or what. I'm not steeped in Finnish Russian Winter War lore and history, so maybe someone in the comments can tell why they had so much Russian equipment, whether it was Lend-Lease. Same with German. I know they were allied with Germany in part of World War II, and some of these have G's on them, so there's also German equipment here. That too close. Extreme zoom. Then more Russian and more German. Have a couple of bridge layers down here. Probably some aerosands. I think these are through here. These are aerosands. And lastly, not lastly, almost. Let's do the map board first. It's map 52. Woods for days. Oh, that reflection, that light. Yeah, it is what it is. Woods for days with some long, small hills in the woods. This board can probably also be used fairly effectively in PTO scenarios. You just convert everything to jungles and palm trees. Okay, let's do the scenarios. Flip through the scenarios. There should be 17 of them. Probably most of them involve some form of winter rules. Not all of them, a lot of them. Yeah, Arctic Crossroads, December. Clearly, it's going to have some sort of winter rules involved. Yeah, ground snow is in effect. Armored Car, Savakirki, December. Probably winter. Yeah, ground snow. Stop Cold, more ground snow. So you're gonna have to brush up on your winter rules to play some of these. Torment at Tormau, and all these are probably Finns versus Russians or Finns versus Germans, I'm guessing. Nothing but courage, more snow. Skiing in Lapland. Ski rules must be in effect here. Sledge, snow. All Finnish personnel and Russian ski detachment personnel have skis. Yeah, everyone's got skis in that one. Breakout from Praza. September. Snow. Winter is probably not in effect here. Forest Bastion. September. Probably no snow here. January Night Fans. Yes, snow. Ground snow. Yep. 11th Company Counterattack. We played this one not too recently. This is in June. Clearly not winter. Interesting little scenario. Fairly short. Fairly quick. Retaking the VKT line. June. Summer scenario. Last attack, June. It's a pretty big scenario here. Here it's Russians versus combined German and Finns. This must be late. Yeah, 1944. Father Sunshine, June. Legacy Assault Guns, July. I would say maybe half of these have winter rules. Here we go. Here's later war again when the Finns and the Germans, their allegiance broke down. Hunters at Ilima. October. Mud is in effect. The only way out. Finns, Germans. And Anabasis. October. Finns, Germans. EC's way. Yeah. A lot of scenarios. I'd say 2/3 are probably winter / mud type scenarios. The rest are summer scenarios. But the box is empty. We've come to the end of the Finns order of battle in World War II and in the advanced squad leader system. Um, I know it's not a core module, but I think the Finns are an important addition to ASL. They're fun to play. They're very unique. Like I said, the two nationalities that make ASL feel a little bit different when you play a scenario involving them are Japanese and the Finns. I recommend picking up Hakkaa Päälle if you haven't already. That's it for this scouting report. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that may be.